Hi everybody, hello, welcome. I promised you a video today and so I'm going to do one. It might not be exactly what you had in mind, but it is to do with the gingy, and it's actually to do with the binding of the gingy, because I realised as I was going through my pages and I was stamping on some of the coffee stain paper that it was actually coming straight through to the other side, which is not attractive. I didn't want that. So I had to rack my brains about what I was going to do. And in the end, I remembered something I'd seen, well, I vaguely remembered something I'd seen Corey Damon make probably years ago now. When I'll show you what I've done with the other one. She made a spine like this. This is the book block to go into the journal. And all of these are hinges to put your pages on. And let me get this page that I've already made. That's the one. And I'll go into more detail with this when we're making the other one. And it gets sewn or stuck on each fin of these hinges. You can put your page on. Put that one like that one like that, and then you've got a page there. It's on a hinge, but you can't see what's inside. So any of the stamps that I've done, these little gingies or whatever, if they had come through, I don't think they have because I used thicker paper, you wouldn't be able to see them and it would be fine. So this is how I'm going to make my journal. It doesn't, however, have to be how you make yours. You can bind yours normally and use these page suggestions that I'm doing just in your normal journal. They are just page layouts. So you can bind it whichever way you like. But I'm certainly doing it this way. It's something different anyway. So that's as far as I've got with that one. And then I was looking on the Facebook group and I saw Judy Hoff, and she's doing a tiny little journal. And I thought, I really fancy doing a little journal. I'm jealous of Judy doing a little journal. So I thought, okay. But I do want these to be pages in my journal, to be, there's the fin of the hinge there, to be stuck on like that. So as you've got your nice 2 printed pages. So I printed them out, 2 to a page, and this is what they came out at. They came out at 7 inches wide, so when you fold that over you've got 3.5, so it is really quite small, and height wise they are 5.5. So that's great. That's going to be the template I'm going to use for the pages in my journal. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to put the fins in? Well, what I've done is I'm using craft card. You can use any sturdy card that you own, and make the back bit, this bit. So I want this bit to be slightly taller than the pages that are going in it, just in case I've got any tabs at the top or lace at the bottom or whatever. That's what I want. And the width of it doesn't really matter because we'll be cutting it down to put it into our journal. So as long as it's wide enough to accommodate all of these with a little bit extra to stick down, we're cooking, we're doing well. So I need to find and mark a straight line on this craft card. So I'm going something like middle. Actually, what I'm going to use is this pen. I've introduced you to these ages ago now. They're called Frixion with an X. And any mark that you make, you can make it erase by using heat. So you can use your embossing thing, an iron, whatever, and it disappears. Some people do tell me it comes back when it gets cold. I don't know. My house is never cold enough, presumably, to make it come back, because it's never come back. So that's about 8 1/4, so 4 1/8. And another line up here, 4 1/8. And we'll draw a line there and we'll call that good for the centre. Just straighten that up. Okay. So there's my centre line, and I need a line like that for every spine that I've got. Now the spines are, come here, the spines are less in height than your page. So it doesn't matter if this is 6 inches, 8 inches, 12 inches, your spines are just slightly less than your page. And I've cut mine out at 2 inches. So these, for mine, measure 5 by 2. So I've taken a piece of card that's 5 by 2 and I'm going to score it at 1, which is a halfway mark. I'm going to take my Frixion and I'm going to go down that line as well. Then I'm going to fold it over on that crease line that we made and just crease that in. I know this seems a bit fiddly at the minute, but I think once you see it coming together, you'll like it. But you might not. You might be just wanting to do what you always do, and that's fine. Right, so altogether I've got 1, 2, and I've already scored these and put my line down the centre. I just want to crease them in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8. I've got 8 in total. So it's not going to be the biggest journal in the world, but I think it'll be nice in relationship to the height and the width. So I've got 8. That's going to be my centre, or just off centre, because we've got an even number. And then I'm going to draw myself some lines using my Frixion and my Tim Holtz ruler, and I'm going to make 1/4 inch lines. So lining my ruler up to that line I've already put in. Draw another line at 1/4 inch. So now we've got 2. Another, just straighten your 1/4 inch line on the ruler up with the last line that you drew. 3, and you can see through it, it's not a difficult task. 4, and I'll do one more on this side. Just get it straight. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's come back this other way and put another 3 in there. And that'll give us our 8. So they're 1/4 inch apart. Or they should be anyway. So that should be 7. We'll count when we've done this one. Should be all right, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's great. Now what I want to do is score 1/4 inch to either side, and that'll give us our spine. So let's pop that there and score 1/4 inch. Folded that the wrong way, creased it the wrong way, should I say. wants to fold in this way. Make sure it's straight. Sometimes scoreboards give you kind of weird, not straight marks. That's fine. And then the same here. So I'll just put that into a groove and then make it 1/4 of an inch outside those lines. There we are. If I can see that. I'll put another score down there just to facilitate the bending of the paper. So there we are. That's going to be our spine. These won't be left this long, but it doesn't matter for the moment. Right, so attaching the spine, the fins I call them, because that's what they look like. So I'm going to take one, any one, doesn't matter. And I'm going to, well, yeah, let's make a mark on here where we want these to come to. So that's about central there, I would say, about there. So let's make a mark there and a mark there and draw a line across at that, and that'll tell us where to put our fin bits. It's really hard seeing this, actually. I think that's it. So just put a line along there. There is no way that's straight. No way. Let's bring it down to 1/2 inch. I just can't see that on there. Let's get a bit of paper. Someone's at the door. Right, there we are. That's straighter, isn't it? And that'll do. I don't really need one at the bottom because I won't be starting at the bottom. So let's take one of these and we're going to start at that line that we drew across. Open it up so you can see the line. Then get yourself some temporary adhesive tape. This is mint tape, but anything that you use for your dies will be great. Straighten that up right with that line there. Stick that down. Another piece of mint tape. Make sure that's straight at the bottom, that line is straight with the one that we drew. And then I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and stitch down it. Now, if you're not a sewist, you can 3-hole pamphlet stitch these easily. So that's an option. But I'm going to pause you there. I'm going to go and stitch that. Then I'll come back and show you. Then I'll catch myself up with the rest. Right, so I've stitched down there. And I hope you can see it's exactly on that line and that line. So we can take our mint tape off. And I'm going to snip the thread ends. I don't want them there on this project. If you're using not so sturdy card, you can use a bit of fabric if you want to on the back just to give it a bit of substance, or you could use Tyvek if you have any Tyvek. But this is very sturdy card. I don't know what it is, about $2.50 I'd say, and it's fine. So fold that over, run over it with your bone folder, and same on this side. I would say lengthen your stitch is the only different thing I've done. I've made a longer stitch, just I don't want it to perforate the paper. So you keep doing that. So the next one, same thing. You line your line up with that line that we made at the top. There, stick that down and make sure it's right on the line at the bottom, which it is. Stick that down, stitch that and keep going, and I'll come back to you when I've got all of these sewn. Okay, so where was I? I can't remember where I was. I think I was sewing these in. Well, they're all sewn in, and actually altogether it took me less than 10 minutes. Obviously if you're pamphlet stitching them it'll take you a little longer, but now I'm just going to take my heat tool and just fade away those lines. You see them just disappear, and then if you go up the middle of each one, you get them to vanish. Hot. They really don't take much persuading. There we are. So, all gone. All gone. Like it never happened. Right, so what I want to do now is to copy the first page that I made for the larger journal. From now on I won't be working in this little one. I will today to catch you up with what I've done, but from now on we'll be working in the large one, so it's a bit more familiar with that size. So right, I have dibby-dabbied a piece of cream card, and I'm going to use this rather than coffee stained paper from now on. I love it, and I think it goes so well with Gingy. So that's what I'm going to do. And I want them to be the same height, same size as these. So that's 7 by, what did I say? 5.5. Okay, so let's cut this off at 7. Might be a good starting place. Seven inches. Of course, yours might be completely different size to this, but the same rules apply. Cut them off at the same size as your printed ones. Keep that. You might want to stamp on that at some stage. And then I want 2 at 5.5. So that'll give me 2 pages. So there's one. And I mean, we're only going to use one today, but we'll have another one ready. So there we are. So these are going to get folded over and be the backgrounds of the pages, if you like. So let's just fold that. Crease that in. And it's going to get put into the journal like this, over one of these, and it'll get put in like this. So you'll see everything on this side, everything on this side, and nothing in the middle. Nothing in this bit. So, right, what did I do? Oh yes, I know. I did actually print out some other pages that I had this green ticking. Don't ask me where from. I went right back. I searched every download file I'd ever downloaded, and these are printed out smaller because I thought the big dots might look a bit the wrong scale is the word I'm looking for. And then I printed some Gingies 4 to a page, so they're tiny little Gingies. I haven't fussy cut them yet. So I want a piece to go on the front to make my pocket, and I'd like it to be about 4 inches tall by 2.5. 4 by 2.5. Let's do that. I'm going to use the red dots because that's what I used in the large one. Keep hold of that. It's easier if I do it that way, I think. So I want 4 inches by 2.5. Could probably get it out that way, couldn't I? Do 2.5 there. Yeah. Gosh, 2.5 is not very much, is it? By 4. This is teeny tiny. So keep all your remnants, not that obviously, but anything that's got a pattern on, keep hold of it. Right, so there we are. We've got the teeniest, tiniest little pocket that's going to go on there. But yeah, that's going to look great. So let's do a bit of inking. Let's just bring my acetate back in. It's pretty mucky, I must say. And I've got a giant brush for this tiny project, but never mind. And I'm using Vintage Photo for my inking. So just ink all the way around that. Also, I'm quite excited about doing this teeny tiny journal. And I have made teeny tiny journals before. In fact, at one time I made a teeny tiny, a Timmy tiny, and a Timmy medium or something. I made 3 anyway, all in decreasing sizes. So yeah, that looks nice once it's inked. I think the Vintage Photo is just dark enough. We are trying to aim for grunge light here, so I don't want it too dark. Of course, if you want to go darker, go darker. I'm just telling you my rationale for why I chose this. So this will be the leading edge of our paper. This will be the edge that you turn over, this folded edge. Right, there we go. Oh, I want to do this as well. Actually, with the one that with this one, I actually dippy-dabbied that into tea dye, and I like the way, yeah, I might do that actually. I like what it did to it. That acetate's getting ready for a wash. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Where's my mat? Here it is. I was playing with white acrylic paint this morning and I had it all over here, and Catkin jumped up. Oh no! I had to clean his paws before he got down off the desk. Oh my goodness me. Anyway, no lasting harm was done, I don't think. Don't think I need too much of this, so it's only a very small piece. Did anything come out? Don't know. It's just getting a bit grimy, this now. A little bit grimy. So it's just dibby-dabby that, and you just get, yeah, that's what you get. But I like it. It knocks it back a bit. So let's dry this off and then we can get going. I'm trying to dry it off with my glue. I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, that looks better. I like that better. It was just a bit too plain, wasn't it? But you can leave yours plain. It's entirely, this is entirely all up to you. Do what you fancy doing. I'll just dry that off. I don't really want to go cutting it while it's still damp. That way leads to disaster. Disaster. Is it dry? Are you dry? I think it's dry. Yeah, sorry if the brown paper is putting you off at all. It's just I wanted some paper there for when I'm stamping, so I can see what it looks like, if it stamps all right, blah blah. And I was sick of forever looking for scrap bits of paper, so I thought, well, I'll put this down. So if it's annoying you, I'm sorry. But it's kind of in keeping with Ginger, really. I didn't realise that till I put it down. So I'm just going to ink over this, over the edges a little bit. Just give it a bit of a coloration around there. Actually, that Dibby Dabby worked lovely. I've got some nice dots. There we go. I think that's okay. I'm just going to take my dauber and just make sure I've got those white edges gone. I don't want to see them. There we go. Job done. Okay, so now I need to work out where I'm going to put my slits, because these pockets are slits. So it's easier to see on the wrong side, so we'll go with that. So what did I say? It measured 4 inches, was it? 4 inches, yeah. So let's make the bottom one 1 1/4 up, and I'm going to come in 3/8 of an inch. So that's between 1/4 and 1/2. And what did I say? 1 1/4. Yeah, okay. 1 1/4. Make a mark there, and then the one from the top, I'm going to do 1 1/4, 2 3/4. 1 1/4 and 2 3/4. Okay. Then from the bottom, I want it 3/8 of an inch in, 1 1/4, make a dot, and 2 3/4. Make a dot. There we go. Now, next thing to do is, do they look straight? Yeah, straightish, straight enough for me. I have to grab the crocodile. It's falling on the ground. And I just want the small hole, which even on this tiny project is still going to look pretty big, I think, but it's the best I can do. And line up here dots. Oh, don't shake now. It's not a good time. And punch those out. So you're going to end up with 4 dots. Stop it. There we go. So that's our 4 dots. Can you see them there? So I'm just going to get my cutting board, my ruler, my knife, and I'm going to cut along here from the bottom of the hole to the bottom of the hole. And it's worth taking your time just to line that up exactly, and then just draw your knife along there. And same with the top one. I mean, this might be because I'm left-handed. You might find it easier to do the tops first. I don't know. I can't say. Well, that wasn't clever. So I'm doing my bottoms. I'm going to turn it round and do the tops. And they should drop out if you've done it properly. Yep, that's good, that's fine. Right, so we've got our 2 slits made. They look pretty ginormous by this scale, but that's fine, that's all right, it is what it is. So I'm going to do my best to get round there and ink that. And it's not easy really, but it's a darn sight easier to try and do it now than when it's stuck down. Yeah, that's all right. That's fine. Okay. So what I want to do now is put a backing on here because I want to use this as a pocket. I want to put something in the side of it, which I haven't done yet with this one. I've left the space, but I haven't put anything in it as yet. So let's just use a piece of very thin cream paper. This is just photocopy paper and it's cream. If you're extremely pedantic, you could use, you could dibby-dabby this, but I think we'll be all right like that. So I'm just going to stick that down, stick it around all 4 edges. If you're going to stitch, now is the time to stitch. Am I going to stitch? That's the question. Well, I can do it. I can stick it down and then stitch. That's what I'll do. So I'm going to glue down all 4 sides, and then I'm going to glue just above the bottom pocket. You'll see when I do it. So around all sides. And this just keeps everything enclosed by backing it, that we can then use it as a pocket. And then this is the bottom slit, so I just want to put some glue just along the top edge of the bottom slit. Oh, it's getting complicated. So let's stick that onto there. And then that means we can put the things in the slip pockets, and we've got a space behind that we can use as a pocket. And putting the glue along there means that whatever I put in here isn't going to fall to the bottom. That's the only reason for that. Bit heavy-handed with the old glue there. So let's cut that out. And now you really do need to decide whether you're going to stitch or not. To stitch or not to stitch, it's a big question. I think I will. So I'm just checking I can get in there. Yeah, get in there. Yeah, get in there. That's open and that's glued. Excellent. That's good. So yeah, I'm gonna go around the page, and I'm also going to go around this, and then I'll come back and I'm also going to cut one of the little ginger people out. Fussy cut one of these guys. So I'll see you when I've done all that, and you'll see where I am. Right, so I think I've got everything done that I said I was going to do. I have sewn around this, and I'll just trim those ends off. I don't want to trim them all off, but trim some. And I've zigzagged round this, and I'll explain to you why it looks like it looks if you are a bit scratching of your head. This is the inside, don't forget. We fold it over like that. This is one page. This is the next page. So that's why I've zigzagged 2 rows down there, because this is going into the spine here, like this. So this is the edge of the paper. So you could, if you wanted to, put rickrack on it, put pom-poms, anything, if you want to. I just decided that I liked it stitched like that. That's my option, but yours may be different. So that's us done with that. I've sewn all the way around there, as you can see. Let's get rid of some of these ends on the back. And I've fussy cut a little gingy. So, which is the bottom of this? That's open, that's open. That's, yeah, this way. This is how it needs to go. So, I liked on the big one how I had the little gingerbread boy just keeking, as we'd say in Scotland, just peeking out the top there like that. Maybe a bit more of an angle. Let's have a look and see what he looked like. No, his foot was sticking out a bit. There. Like that, I think. And that gives us a fairly equal margin round there. Yeah, I like that. So let's, what do we want to do first? Stick the gingy onto there, I think. So I'm just going to draw a line where I want the glue to be. And then I can stick him on. Or her, I think it is actually in this case. I think she's a gingerbread lady. Just line that up with the marks that we made. Perfect. I think it's perfect. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's all right. That's fine. Now, as I said, we're going to make this into a pocket. So I don't want anything like this that's going to stop the... Let's see if I've got some washi. Yeah, I've got some of this stuff. So it doesn't matter what it is, it'll never be seen. Hopefully, unless the whole thing falls apart. So let's just put a bit of washi over there, like that, and that'll save anything that you put in the pocket being caught up in the pocket. That's just me being a bit fastidious, but first time you get something stuck, you'll think, oh, why didn't I listen to Miss P? I doubt nobody ever says that. I doubt anybody ever says that. I really doubt it. So let's just double check that that's okay. That's okay. So now we can glue the gingy and glue this on 3 sides. This is the side where the spine is. This is the opening side. So we want our opening to be on this side. So I'm going to put my hand there. That's what I don't want to glue, and I want to glue the rest. Now if you've stitched, put a fair bit of glue down, because the stitches somehow seem to eat the glue. So make sure you get enough on there. And along the bottom. I must admit, it's good fun making little stuff. Different, something different. So he goes there, she goes there, should I say, I think. That goes there. Is that straight? Let's have a look. I believe it is. So stick the gingy down, then we'll just go over the edges with the bone folder. Yeah, I've got surplus glue here. But maybe it's better to have surplus than not enough. There we are. And if you wanted to, you could clip that. I might just see if I've got a clip for that bit there, because it's going to annoy me. There we are. I might as well put one in the bottom as well. I don't think I've got any more long ones there. Let's see if that's going to reach. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so that's that pocket. Yeah, no more to be said there. So on this one, I put a big thing that says Season's Greetings and another Gingy. I don't know if I can get another Gingy on there because they're quite large. He's quite small. I'll just pause you and I'll fussy cut him. Right, well, I've fussy cut him, I think, out, but I'm not exactly certain. Well, yeah. What I wanted to include was this, Gingerbread Hugs, and I don't know if I've got, yeah, I might have room for that as well. Let's just see. We'll just see. I don't want to stamp it directly onto there because you won't see it. So I think I'll stamp it, as I did with this one, onto a piece of craft card and then cut it out, I think is the best way. Let's see where my craft card is. Here's some here. This will do nicely. So, stamp platform. Yeah, that's the largest platform you own. I don't think you need that. Let's just use this one. And I think I might emboss it. I'll do it in white and I'll emboss it. I like that look, so hang on. Right, I think I'm organised. Okay, so I've got my embossing ink here. I'm just going to go over my stamp. It is a tiny little stamp, so I hope I'm catching it. Let's take the lid off this in preparation. Put the lid on that. I see nothing on my page, so that may mean that there's nothing there. Oh, then again, look at that. Brilliant. I'm going to have to order some more white stuff, and I wouldn't mind ordering the extra fine actually, because this is just ordinary, and a lot of stuff that I do does seem to be. So I'm just going to emboss that. That's it, gone. Oh, doesn't it look so cute? Gingerbread Hugs. Okay, so I would cut this out with scissors if I was any good, but I'm not. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to bring that right up to the edge of my plastic finger guard and cut that there. It might all end up being too big anyway, but we'll see. We'll see, won't we? So up to the edge of my finger guard. It's so small now. I have got the Tim Holtz tiny trimmer, you know. I don't even know where it is. That's ridiculous. Straighten it up with the grid. This might work, you know. It just might. Gingerbread hugs. Let's see. Let's have a look. So if I put that there, have I got room for this one here? Ooh, don't know. I think we might have to lose that Gingy, to be honest. Because in an ideal world you'd want that there, wouldn't you? In the centre. But it looks kind of plain now without the other Gingy. So let's shuffle that over there. Let's see if we can get this one on. We can get it on like that. What's wrong with that? That looks better, doesn't it? Okay, let's just scoot around here with the ink. Vintage photo. What time is it? 25 to 5. Stick that on. It's quite firm, this card. Okay, so let's make sure that we get that where you can read it. Inside the stitching would be good. Straight would be excellent. There. Right, there we go. So now we just want to stick this little fella down. He's so cute. The page just looked plain, didn't it, without him, so he's got to go on. It's all about gingerbread people anyway, isn't it? So there we are. Now by doing that, I have made this slip pocket a little less wide, and I've also made this pocket that we've got in there less long. That's just the price we're paying for doing that, but I think it's worth it. If you think not, then don't put your gingerbread man on. There we go. And basically whatever you want to fill that with is up to you. On the big one, where did I put the big one? Here. I used these are Timmy stamps from a long time ago. Baubles for your tree. I did try them in white acrylic paint and I couldn't get any joy. They just, excuse me, the detail was too fine for the acrylic. So in the end I just did what I've just done, stamped them out with the embossing powder and embossed them with white. And I think they look very nice actually. And I don't think we need anything. I put ribbon at the top, look at it. It's gingy ribbon. And that goes down into there, like so. But because we glued that bit, this bit here, that's not going to fall down the back and never see the light of day again. So there we go. So that's the big one. That's the one I'll be working on from now on. And that's this one. I might actually have to work on this a little bit extra because I want to show you how to do this. Which is just on a hinge. And you've got journaling there. And you've got journaling there. So you've got quite a lot of journaling in there. And that just comes over like that. It's on a bit of Velcro. It's not very straight. And I've stuck these onto a piece of craft paper card and re-fussy cut them out so they're a bit sturdier than they were. So I just want to show you how I did that. Shall I do that now? I might as well, then we're done with that, aren't we? So let me just pause you there. I'll have a bit of a clean, well, not a clean up, but a sort out, and I'll be back. Well, I might be organised, I might not. Time will tell. Anyway, this is the other side of our page, and this is the paper. It's nothing to do with Gingerbread Men, it's just a Christmas paper. You use what you want to use, of course. And I need to measure this from about there to about there is 4 1/4. From there to there is 4 1/4. And I just want to half that, so that's 2 1/8. 2 1/8 by, that's 3 inches inside the stitching line. So if I made that 2 inches, yeah, 2 1/8 by 2. Oh my goodness me. So let's cut this off at 2. Right, and now I need 2 at 2 1/8. 2 1/8 is about there, I'd say. 2 1/8. About there. Right. So let's put those like that there, and we know the 2 1/8 is going across that way. But actually we want it to come down, so I'm just going to turn those like that. Right. Now, next thing we need is some coffee stained paper. And I'm going to glue that on to there, to the bottom right hand. So that's going to get glued onto there. Before I do, I'm just going to distress it around with a little bit of vintage photo. And now I completely don't know what's what. That's 2 inches. That's 2 1/8. Right, so I want the 2 1/8 going up the way, 2 inches going across. So let's glue that on. Into that corner there. Perfect. Lovely. So we'll just let that grab for a minute. Actually, we could put the other one on the bottom corner. So let's ink around that while that one's just doing its grabby stuff. Hope you're all doing all right today. I feel like I'm throwing a lot at you today. I'm sorry, but not sorry. That's 2 1/8, so that goes like that. Yeah, no, not sorry, because you'll have plenty homework to do. I like it when you've got plenty homework to do. Takes the heat off me doing another video tomorrow. I might, but I won't feel like I absolutely have to. So there we go, that's that one on there. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So let's assume that's grabbed. So I want to fold that over right on the top there, on the top of that paper. You can score it if you want, but to be honest, you'd be fine if you just follow that line along. Make sure it's straight down the side. There you go, that's perfect. So I'm going to cut that now along the side of there. And I'm just going to keep going for an inch or so. It's just a guess at this stage. So that's going to be our first flip up. So let's ink around that while that one's still thinking about life. You just want to catch the white bits of paper, the white cliffs of Dover. I'll just go down here a little way. Okay, so that's going to be our top one. Are you square? Not bad. It's not bad. There you go. So it's the same thing with this one. Fold it over right on the where that fancy paper ends. Fancy. I can't say that word without thinking about Kihung. I don't know why that is. Lovely Kihung. Right, so fold that in, then we're going to cut this one as well. But this one we're going to cut straight across at the bottom. There we go. So that's going to go on there like that. So that's going to flip up. This is the plan. That's going to flip up. That's going to flip up. And we'll have all that journaling. Let's ink around here. Then I need to go stitching. Okay, that's all right. So what I want to do now is just stitch the fancy bit. Don't need to stitch anything else. So I'll stitch those and I'll be straight back. Right, so I've stitched around those. Let's just cut some of these ends off that are a bit excessive. Any in the middle? No, we're all right. And the other thing that we need that I forgot to stitch at the same time, so they're going to go like that. Lovely. Is the flap that comes over to hold them closed. Now I'm going to use this. It's single-sided, which is fine, that doesn't matter, because we're going to score it. Cut it straight might be a start. Yeah, let's cut it straight first. That's shocking. Shockingly bad. No, a bit more. Well, we're there, we're at 1.5. 1.5. Okay, so half of that is 3/4. So let's just put a score in at 3/4, which is there. Budge that up a bit. Whoops, went around my thumb. There we go, and that should then fold over nicely. Perfect, that's great. So I'll ink around that and stitch around that when I've worked out how much I need. So I'm just going to fold in sort of 1/2 inch there. Crease that in. How long is this video anyway? 59 minutes. Oh, I thought it was longer. So that's going to go there like that. This one's going to go up snug in there. This one's going to go there. So I need this, obviously not straight, is it? Not that it matters. So I need that to be down to about there. So let's just make a mark there where I want to cut that. and do that with my trimmer because I don't trust myself. There we go. Right, so let's just ink around this, then we can glue it and then stitch it. Ooh, that takes the ink very nicely, doesn't it? Sure it does. I am going to just ink around the inside as well, because you will see when you lift it up to get to the journaling, you will see that. So let's ink it. There we go. Right. Do I need to stick that? I don't think I do. I just need to stitch it. So I'll be back in a sec. The end is so